Hey, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Big Doug and Carmi Show. You one-stop shop for all things Commanders. It is our first Inside the Command Center episode of the season, and as usual, JP Finlay is here to break it down for us. JP, what's happening, man?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I feel like at least 3 or 4 years we've started out this way. I will got a list of questions I will pepper JP with, and we'll see what he has to say about it. Did you see the hype video that came out today with the Spears?
Yeah.
Me and Hog Farmer Chris had a conversation a month ago.
Hey, you want to say hi to Chris Russell, who just barged in here?
Sorry.
What up, Rooster?
What's up? How are you?
Get out of here.
All right, Doug. I didn't know he was doing something.
Me and Chris Bryant had a conversation back when they did the stock photos for Media Day. A lot of the Spears, a lot of Roman armor. You can kind of look around DC. Most of the buildings are Greek or Roman. What do you make of what we saw today? And are the fans going to make too much of all the Spear stuff?
I think it looks cool. I think Greek Roman kind of made me think of that movie 300, whatever that genre is. Kind of Game of Thronesy, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure some people will make too much of it. They're not changing the name. I don't know. I think they're trying to establish an identity for Commanders so that fans don't feel like it was just pulled out of thin air, even though it kind of was, and these guys just inherited it. I think we got to, they got one of the best young quarterbacks in football. Let's just focus on the games and just I think the name's clunky. It's not – the old name's obviously better, and the old name got changed for reasons that matter to some people a great amount. And I think – we're 5 years into this, and I grow increasingly tired of it.
Was that Obama narrating?
I don't think so. I think it's The Punisher, Bernthal.
Oh, is it Bernthal again? Okay.
I'd have to go back and listen, but I'm almost certain it's Bernthal.
I know they used him for something last year, so that would make sense.
Is that a thing? People think it's Obama narrating?
Frankly, maybe I'm a dummy. I thought it was Obama.
Can we play it real quick? Let me hear it one more time.
Yeah, you got it?
What is it? It's their Twitter, right?
Yep.
Yeah, hang on. I'm going to pull it up. Do you care if I just play it with the audio?
Yeah, go for it.
Hang on.
If I was a little more media savvy, I'd pop it up on here, but I don't got those kind of skills, JP. But play it and we'll listen to it.
I am almost – I believe I was told it was Bernthal doing it. I'm almost positive it is. I don't think it's Obama. I'll listen to it for a second.
You got it?
I just listened for a second.
Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Injury report looks clean.
The Noah Brown thing, I'm not sure how clean that is.
Okay. It's the knee?
Yeah. It's the same thing that's been lingering and, didn't do much in camp. Been on the injury report all 3 days. I don't know what DQ said because I was on the air, but I'm sure
it was a personal rest day today.
Okay. They do those rest days, but that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause. I would expect him to play. I think DQ said he thinks he's going to play. But the guys that got the rest days, Jones and Quinn, had also been Jones and Brown rather, had also been on the injury report. I think they're all going to play, but are you all the way there is kind of a different matter, but that's pro football.
Cosme's on PUP. What are you hearing about him?
He's in great spirits. I talked to him yesterday. He's working hard. He looks good, looks fit. I just think he was always going to be on PUP, and DQ kind of did this we'll see. But I think he was just doing the head coach not giving you any information until he has to thing. He blew out his knee in late January. He was always going to be on PUP. Or IR,
that's what I thought. And I guess there's no point in speculating on when he may return. Are you surprised that Connolly got the nod for the first game of the season? It's a big test against that Giants defense, who maybe has the best front seven of football.
No, not surprised. I
Okay.
frankly expected it. I thought Wiley's been good, but I think Connerly showed dramatic. I think they gave themselves some wiggle room if the transition from left to right proved to be too much in one offseason. But I think he's looked good, and his athleticism you want on the field. Especially, I mean, Cliff asked his lineman to do a lot of movement, and I think he'll be really good at that.
What has he said as far as that transition? I think as fans, as people that watch from afar, we figure it's like, well, you can do one, you can do the other. Not really. It's kind of like riding with your left hand or your right hand. Not necessarily a simple transition. What has he said about it?
Yeah, I think it's important for people to remember that footwork is a huge part of offensive line play, right? And he had to like reverse all the footwork he had been doing for years. So I don't think it's that simple. He actually said something to me. I think it was me and Adam Kilgore were talking to him probably 2 weeks ago now. And he said early on he was so focused on making that transition and the techniques involved, and he was really hard on himself that he had to like take a minute and like remind himself, hey man, just go have fun and play football. Like this is what you do. And once he had that kind of like recognition, everything started to go a lot smoother.
I thought it was interesting. It must have been a couple of weeks ago, and it's come out again recently, that they sent Jaden's personal quarterback coach basically a commander's tablet and the language that they use, so that Jaden wasn't having to relearn anything when he got back to Washington. Everybody be on the same page. It feels like, and maybe other teams are doing this, it seems hard to imagine, a lot are. It takes a lot of trust to send somebody outside the organization that kind of information. I guess that shows just as much their faith in Jaden Daniels. But again, it's this idea of winning in the edges, right?
Yeah. I mean, very interesting. Probably not a lot of organizations do it, to your point, but to me, it just makes sense. If you know that's where he's going to be working and working out, like why not just keep all the momentum pushing forward? And, I think the levels of secrecy with some of this stuff are a little inflated. No pun intended, I guess. But like they're also installing new stuff every week. So whatever they have going in this week is going to look different in a week. It's going to look different in a month. It's going to look different in 3 months. And D coordinators have every play Jaden Daniels has ever run on tape. They can compress it and watch every third down he's ever run. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you are certainly showing some trust, and I'm sure that's appreciated. But like, I think it'd be weird if they I think it'd be weird if they didn't. Like, if he's got the playbook or the iPad and he's working with this guy, the guy probably has it anyway, and they're probably taping all the work they do anyway. So it's like, it's not the CIA. Like I think it, to me, it makes sense.
They spent so much resources and effort upgrading the offensive line for Jaden Daniels. I wonder how much of the playbook last year that Cliff wanted to use just kind of got scrapped because the O-line couldn't do what he needed them to do, or couldn't hold long enough for Jaden to maybe get the reads downfield. What new wrinkles do you think they've added this year as the offensive lines got boosted?
That'll be interesting to see. I think Debo obviously brings a different element and provides wrinkles. And Jaden just can do so much off script that, I'm not sure what you had to scrap because of the O-line, because they ran the ball really well the first half of the year before injuries started piling up. I think they brought more in and kind of threw more at Jaden as the season progressed. So I would say they were running more variations and adding more on throughout the season, even as the O-line injuries and the O-line struggles kind of continued to add up down the stretch.
Are you looking for Jaden to have added things to his game to help him make the next step, or will just more time in the NFL be what eventually helps him get better? Like, what are you looking for in year 2 from Jaden?
I mean, I think both, right? Like he said something the other day that I thought was really interesting, that going into week 1 last year, he didn't know what he didn't know. And now he comes in just way more comfortable, way more confident, and just way more knowledgeable of like what game days actually like. 'Cause I mean, even beyond the on-field stuff, there's like just the logistics, like, oh, what time do I have to get there? Is the traffic going to be bad? You know, where's all my stuff that I like to warm up with? You know what I mean? Like all that is second nature now. And then I think Jaden can be better. He said he made a point of working on his accuracy this offseason. I also think he was great. And if you just achieve greatness again is great. And I expect him to do that. I just think that's who he is.
Dude that ran for almost 1,000 yards last year. You don't want to knock what makes him special. At the same time, I got to assume the coaching staff doesn't want him anywhere near 1,000 again, do they?
I think you don't want to limit Jaden Daniels' ability on the field at all, but I also think they won't be upset if he's not the team's leading rusher. You know, like you want to keep calling his number, but I think you want to be able to run the ball more effectively. And if you run the ball more effectively, ideally somebody else, and maybe they get in a situation where Eckler stays healthy, Bill's a rocket, and C-Rod helps a lot. And it's like you run for 1,700 yards and it's kind of divided up between those 3 guys or something. But you'd like to lean less on Jaden on the ground without at all limiting who he is. And I think maybe that's a needle that you kind of have to thread, but I think to me that makes sense. And I imagine it makes sense to them too.
I had Warren Sharp on the show last week, and we were talking about the incredible 4th down conversion rate of last year. And he made a great point. And I didn't even realize this till he had sent the book over. They actually went for it more in years past. It's just that the completion rate of 4th down was sky high this year. The regression is coming, but as he pointed out, the fact that Jaden Daniels was kind of the reason you were able to do that, you had so much faith in what he was able to do in those situations. I'm curious if you think they'll be as aggressive this year as they were last year.
I would expect them to. I think
Yeah.
DQ talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago that he understands from a math standpoint, there's probably inevitable to regress somewhat, but they're also historically good at it. And I think we get so caught up in regression because like there's like a cottage industry to reduce the complexities of football to simplistic numbers and grades, which I think it's probably somewhere between like impossible and silly, right? But like, would they convert like 83%, right? When it's something like that, it was over 80, I believe.
80%, yeah.
Yeah. Like if that goes to 70, is that a regression? Or are they still the best team in the NFL on 4th down?
Right.
Like the numbers might go down, but DQ said like they have a game plan. They want to know where their kicker's comfortable from. And that's different every week. The kicker goes out early, kicks, you test the wind, you test the field, all those things. The kicker gives the coaches a number and they work backwards from that. Like, all right, anytime, like say he feels comfortable from 55 and in. So then you work backwards from, all right, what is our spot where, you know, 4th and 3 at our own 22, we got to kick. But 4th and 3 at our own 38, let's go. And they determine kind of the outlook of where they're going to be aggressive. And then that also helps determine 3rd down play calling. And of course, game situations will dictate otherwise. Sometimes it's 4th and 2 from the opposing 23, and they're like, we want to stay on the field, we're going, right? But like, there's a ton of like data and information and intelligence compiled into the 4th down attempts. But what you can't, you know, you can't quantify what Jaden can do with the ball in his hands,
Sure.
needing 2 yards, and
Right.
they'll never try to stop that.
I agree. Are you comfortable with the kicker?
They are.
They are.
They seem quite comfortable with the kicker. I mean, the guy's won a Super Bowl. He's kicked Super Bowl winning kicks. So, distance. It's not that Cowboys dude, right?
No,
But
it's not.
they seem very comfortable. So, I guess you give them benefit of the doubt.
There's 3 names I think are interesting this year. It's Sinnott, McCaffrey, and Newton. Which one of these guys in your mind has not even the ability, just I guess the chance to take a jump this year?
Of those 3, I'd say Newton.
Right.
I think Newton's a really good interior pass rusher, and I think he'll get opportunities. And if the edges are better, I mean, Von Miller, I think that could help Newton. I think the path to productivity for Sinnott and McCaffrey is harder, just because Terry's going to get his looks, Debo's going to get his looks, Ertz is going to get his looks, Eckler's going to get his looks. Where are those guys on the list? It's interesting with both those guys, Sinnott and McCaffrey, because I know they've kind of become like flashpoints for the fan base. But the coaching staff on and off record will tell you they love those guys and they're really impressed. And DQ always talks about the year 2 jump, and he expects to see that. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Which makes a bigger impact? They spent a lot of resources on that defensive line to help in run or the run game. Dietrich Wise or Javon Kinlaw, who has the bigger impact on that defensive line?
It's a good question. I think Kinlaw. I think he's more varied. Like
he's big.
He's huge. Yeah, but so is Wise, man. Both those guys stand out with their size. I think Wise helps you a lot. I think, especially ideally, having someone set the edge in the run game. I think that's a big part of his game. But I think they'd like it to be Kinlaw. I think they believe Kinlaw can do more things and wear more hats and is still like an ascending player. I think Wise is like an established veteran.
No chance he plays 40%, right? Von Miller, this is the question. Do you think Von Miller will play more than 40% of the snaps or less in this game, or wait till later in the season? They want him to be a fourth quarter killer, right?
Yeah, interesting. He played, if you look at his snap counts last year for the Bills, it was about 25%. And he was on the Barstool Pardon My Take podcast and said, I expect to play more in Washington. And he's talked about how he likes to set tackles up and set tackles up to believe he's going outside or whatever. And then he'll use movement to get to do something different. And to set guys up, you kind of have to be out there for snaps. I don't know about 40%. Wait till later in the season. Like it certainly feels that the December games matter more, but they all count in the win-loss column. Like
yes.
You lose in September or December, like it still counts. So I don't know that I think he's such a pro. I don't think you have to build him up. I think he could do Sunday what he could do Christmas Day.
Right.
I think they're going to try to manage it along the way.
Sure. It sounds crazy to say out of my mouth, considering what it looked like last year. But I feel like maybe the secondary is the best grouping that we have on this team. Is it the secondary? And if it's not, which one is it?
Well, it's the quarterback. I mean,
all right. I think yes, I got you.
The secondary looks good, man. I like the safeties. If Amos is right and Lattimore's right, I like Samerstill. I like the secondary. I think the O-line, if you're looking at a position group, that to me would be where I go. Adding Tunsil's a huge deal, and I don't know that we talk about it enough. And I like Connerly. I think Brandon Coleman as a guard is where he's best suited. I think that has a lot of advantages. So I'd probably say O-line, but I like the secondary too.
I went on, how we do this. I pulled up some over-under props. I thought we'd wrap the show up with that.
Okay.
You like over or under 3,500 passing yards for Jaden Daniels?
What did he get to last year? It was around there, right?
It's around there, yeah.
I'd probably lean over. Remember he had those couple games where the statistics were all kind of muted with the rib injury. Last year he got to 35.68. I go over that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. DraftKings has his rushing total at 675. BetGM has it at 725. Let's split it down the middle and just call it 700.
I'll shade under. Give me like a
Okay.
692.
1,000 receiving yards for Terry.
Yeah, he tends to get there.
Who's got a better chance of getting at 1,000, Debo or Terry?
Straight receiving, Terry. Yards from scrimmage, probably Debo.
And where does Terry get on the touchdown production? Last year, second in the league. Hard to imagine he's back there. Although when you watch it, he had like 4 different times he got tripped up at the 1 and 2 yard line that kept touchdowns off the board. What do you like for Terry? Over under 10?
History suggests it's under, right? Like he's been here since 6 seasons, and it's the first time he ever even had double digits, let alone 13. So 7 or 8 is still a really good season. I'd go under 10. Is that a Vegas number or is that a Doug number?
The 10?
Yeah.
No, I just threw that one out there.
All right. That's the Doug Casino.
Yes. ESPN Bet has 777 yards and 6 touchdowns for Bill.
Whew.
Tell us about Bill.
They got a rookie going for 800 yards. All right.
Is the outside perception of Bill way bigger than what reality is? Like, is it going to take a couple of weeks of him being able to prove he's got the pass pro to be a more complete guy, or is he going to get looks week 1? I don't know. I think there's a big question mark there. No,
I think the Kingsbury joked about the hype around Bill yesterday.
You're right.
I think the hype. I think one thing that's crazy is like fantasy football drives the last couple weeks of August to such a significant impact that like probably more people are talking about Bill than probably need to, because everybody's like, oh, when do I take him? When do I take him? And I get my phone, people just text me about Bill constantly.
Me too.
And like Laramie Tunsil's far more important to the team. But that said, Bill was an eye-opener right away. Really explosive runner, really good vision, really good cutter. Keeps his eyes downfield as the play's developing, shows patience. I think he's the real deal, but I also think this is kind of a committee room. Eckler's going to have a role no matter what. So 780 and 7 touchdowns.
777 and 6.
Aren't those like exactly B-Rob's numbers, roughly?
That could be. What bigger reason that B-Rob got shipped? Chris Rodriguez looking better this year. I love Chris Rod at Kentucky. I'm not saying he's some superstar, but like he crushed Georgia every time they played him. Who was the bigger reason they felt that B-Rob could be moved?
Bill.
Right. Okay.
And Chris transformed his body and deserves a ton of credit and looks way different. So it's not binary that it was one or the other, but they cut Chris last year.
Right.
That happened.
Sure.
To me, it's not a direct line. Like there's lots of factors to it, but I do think Bill was the biggest contribution among many towards that decision.
Who dresses week 1? Like, are they rolling? They're not going to bring 4 running backs on the active roster on Sunday, will they?
I don't think so, but I won't be shocked if they do.
Really?
Yeah, the problem is you gotta get your way to 7 somehow, and typically it would be that back. So I don't know. And one thing I was curious about, because Bill got dinged up in the shoulder against the Pats and then was wearing non-contact jerseys at various points after that. I was curious if we'd see him on the injury report at all. Obviously we didn't. Like, to me, it would be McNichols if it's anybody, but he has a real special teams role. Like, all those guys have roles. So then, you start going through the roster and it's like, could you keep 2 linemen down, a quarterback, a D tackle? Remember how many linebackers they carried? Like,
Right.
could you put Madrano and Cahill down? And now you're with the 4 or 5. Probably keep one of those tight ends down. It's an interesting roster makeup. Like, a lot of times your 6th wide receiver would be inactive, but they only carried 5. So, and I mean, dude, I don't think this will happen, but Mariota just got cleared. Like, he's been on the injury report. Now he's been a full participant, but like, he's on the injury report with the Achilles thing. Like, is there a chance they have to dress Johnson? I don't think so. But like, you start pulling hypothetical threads, and it'll be really interesting what they do. And
No doubt.
like, he said he's fine, but what about Noah Brown? Like, would you want to elevate somebody Saturday night? Probably not, but it's all pretty interesting.
It is. Rumors that Debo is going to return kicks. They're not going to do that, right?
I mean, they listed him as the top kick returner on the depth chart.
Yeah, but who makes the depth chart?
This one is more
serious. Like, that's
the preseason one is a total joke. This one is more serious than that.
Okay.
Debo returning kicks, I also think he'd be great at it. It's the ball.
No doubt. No, I agree. Just a lot of contact that you don't want a guy that doesn't play every game of the season every year anyway getting into. Again, another interesting one. He ran a lot of routes while Terry was out. Like, one of the reasons that Debo wanted out of San Francisco is because he felt he was a wide receiver, not a gadget guy number 1, right? Like, is he going to be used more as a receiver here, or is he still going to be gadget guy number 1?
I think both. San Fran with the emergence of Ayuk and then Juwan Jennings, and then Kittle, like, they just had more kind of traditional pass catchers, especially once McCaffrey got there. So that kind of put more of the gadgety role on Debo. But dude, if I had to guess, and I don't know this, I haven't asked him this, but like, wanting to be sure everybody knows you're a wide receiver and not a gadget guy and not a running back is tied to cash. Like, receivers get paid a boatload, and running backs and gadget guys don't. So
that's fair.
Like, if he can be extremely productive again and go for 1,200 total yards and 9 touchdowns, the productivity is what's most important and how he arrives at it. But like, wanting to clarify your position, it's like how, like, linebackers versus
DNs
and pass rushers, like, a lot of that is directly tied to money.
Yeah. Who leads the team in sacks this year?
I think it's Luvu.
Yeah, I did too.
I think he's just really explosive, and I think with a better D line, he can be even more of a factor. You can make an argument for a lot of guys that I think would make sense. But I think it's Luvu.
I'll ask you the same question about interceptions.
Quan Martin.
They like Quan. I liked Quan coming out. He can play, and this could be the year for him, right? Like, they're super excited about Quan.
He's my Pro Bowl breakout prediction.
Bam. There you go. The lines or the over under win total is what, a 10.5? You like over or under?
I thought it was 9.5, Doug. Doug
Is it
Casino
9.5?
numbers.
Is it 9.5? All right. Well, either way, what do you like at 9.5? You like
9.5?
10?
I like the over.
And 10.5, you like the under?
Nah, I think this team's really good, and
yeah,
I try not to get too bogged down in win projections because predicting the NFL week to week is impossible, let alone who's going to be on the field contributing December 17th. But I think this team's really good. I think they're a contender. And I think they win double-digit games and pretty comfortable. Not comfortable. I feel comfortable in that assessment.
What's the score on Sunday?
30-18.
I love that one. All right, brother.
I think the Giants are going to move the ball and not score. I think you'll see some field goals. I do. If you're looking for a bet, Casino Doug, yes. I kind of like the Giants first half. I could just see this being a little like clunky early, and the Giants just kind of keeping it close early.
If Andrew Thomas plays, and obviously he hadn't played a bunch of football since he got hurt, like I think that Giants team's kind of sneaky this year. No.
Yeah, a lot of people
they got
do.
sweet stuff. They got weapons. They got a good defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year was obviously a train wreck. I don't think they're a train wreck. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think they're better than. I think they're like a 6-7 win team. I don't know what their win total is. I bet it's right around there, 6.5 or 7 or something. I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's who they are. I mean, they took the Commanders to the wire week 2 last year. If they had a kicker, they might have won the game. I think from a straight winning and losing standpoint, in these close division games, I just trust Jaden.
Absolutely. JP, football's back, buddy, and it's great. Thank you for doing this as always. And be safe on the way out to Seattle or Green Bay. You excited about that Green Bay? That should be a good game.
Oh yeah, man. You ever been to Lambeau?
You've been to Lambeau? No, I had not. I was going to ask you if you've been before. It's
very, very cool. I've never stayed in Green Bay. It's a really small town. It's hard to get, right. But I got tipped off to that game early, so I was able to book a hotel before it got announced. So I'm excited to stay in Green Bay. If anybody's going, anybody watching, so we're gonna do my All Ears show. We're gonna do it live on location from Lambeau, I guess next Wednesday night. And okay. I'm hoping people will come out. Anybody that comes out, we're gonna try to do like a live Q&A on TV. So if you're there,
cool.
come check it up.
Yeah, we'll post it and share it too. That's awesome.
Okay, cool, man.
All right, brother. Yeah, be good, man. Thank you.
All right, Doug. Take care, man.
Yeah.